Bitcoin has been rejected at the 11K region, and the question now becomes, may this trend still be bullish, or does it look ready for a dive deep down into the crypto abyss? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the action we're seeing inside the chart right now. It's no surprise Bitcoin saw a huge bearish engulfing candle here on the 4-hour time frame. And right now we are still in what appears to the Don Carbonaccio to be the crossroads here for the trend as a whole. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the one-day time frame. Clearly, we can see Bitcoin found support yet again along my green box of support here along the bottom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this area has been of not only of confluence, but significant confluence. I'm actually going to use we'll put a thumbs up here. That's a good one to use. A thumbs up every time here. I actually want to change the color. It was red. Let's use this to white here. We'll put a thumbs up every time that this range has been of confluence, all right? And we can see now that this has been the zone here that Bitcoin has loved to find support at over and over again. So no surprise, we dumped, found that support, and now we've been on a pretty parabolic incline here, at least on the 4-hour time frame. This was a parabolic rise, followed then by a bull flag, which played out, ladies and gentlemen, right? We did get the rise above our old resistance level, but then, my friends, the bears came back in. The market movers said, nah, little James, and they dumped it right on his head, all right? And now I want to explain to you what I believe is going on here, which is pretty clear-cut to me, but for those that don't truly understand this market, it may be a little hard to understand. So, although Bitcoin is the largest market cap crypto, the highest volume traded crypto, the thing is you have to understand at the end of the day, this market is pretty illiquid in terms of a lot of the large volume trading actually happens OTC, right? Over the counter, not on an exchange. It's a private sale, a private transaction, rather than on a public exchange where the order book gets driven up or down with slippage, etc., based on the amount of coins being sold. So for those that are trading on an exchange, those whales, I hate to use the term whale because, ladies and gentlemen, you'd be surprised. I've seen comments that people, does anybody have one Bitcoin? Because if you have one Bitcoin, you're a whale. So I hate to use the term whale because some people don't really understand. One Bitcoin in this space, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing. Like, that does not do anything to the price here. I'm talking about market movers with a lot of Bitcoin. We're talking at a minimum triple-digit Bitcoin just in a quick sell. I mean, overall they probably are trading much more than that, but I'm just talking a quick sell or a quick buy, in the high 6-digit range is nothing of any significance here in terms of whales. You have to be diligent of that. A lot of people have been in Bitcoin for a very, very long time, okay? And it's not like these people were billionaires and bought Bitcoin all the way up here and they're here trading in the market now. These people have a lot of Bitcoin from the time when it did not cost that much to get a lot of Bitcoin, right? So you wind up seeing a lot of price action occur right now at a time where liquidity entered the market. All right. And just a brief discussion about this, because if you are subscribed here, you would probably already know this, as I have discussed this in the past. The order books get very thin in illiquid markets, right? And what winds up happening is that to dump a ton of Bitcoin, let's just say, for example, a market mover here wants to dump 1,000 Bitcoin or 500 Bitcoin, right? A quick little just for him right there, or her, right? What we could see here is that once we've broken above this line here, right, the algorithms should, in theory, get triggered above this line because we have a double resistance here, and then we broke above. We are trading above our new support, right, that we found support at multiple times. We are in a tentative bull flag structure here. And then you break above that resistance, which is tentatively bullish, even though in the macro structure you are still below that lower high. But everything else on the lower time frames here, such as the 4-hour that we're looking at now, and we'll show it on the 1-hour as well, we clearly broke out, right? And I'm going to remove these drawings here just to show you. Clearly, I mean, the resistance was broken, right? You could see this. And this is where the liquidity comes in, right? And you can see this here as well on the 1-hour. There was a rise in the volume there. See? Declining volume, ton of volume here, aka liquidity is entering. People are putting fresh fiat dollars and fresh Bitcoins into the trading mix right there, okay? And then what winds up happening, a whale or market mover sees this and goes, yep, there it is. There's my liquidity. I don't have to move the book down too much. You're still going to move the book down, evidently, right? I mean, you could see they have no choice, ladies and gentlemen. They move the book, right? When you're trading that amount of Bitcoin, the book gets moved. But say they did this here, maybe the same amount of Bitcoin would have brought it down 10 or 12%. Whereas right now, once the liquidity enters the market around this range right here, right? Once that liquidity comes in, and by liquidity, I mean people wanting to buy or algorithms wanting to buy, right? You understand. Fresh money is willing to speculate to the upside here. This is where the order book gets a little thick, and then the whale or market mover can dump here without pushing the order book down 12%, right? In this general case here, let's see, it was about a 5 or a 6% move. So in their eyes, they make 50%, that it only dumped 6% instead of 12 approximately. You see what I'm saying? So for me right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a further confirmation to me that this trend is bearish right now, as those that are unloading heavy bags are still looking to sell when liquidity enters the market. Now, I don't usually say this, but if you could, guys, please share this video with somebody right now that needs to understand that lesson that I just taught to you and explained to you right now, because I feel like that's not a widespread knowledge there, and I want you all to understand that if you're looking to crush this market, you must be aware of the liquidity zones here. And for me right now, to see a dump of this magnitude after a clear level of resistance being broken, looking to speculative be a bull flag to the upside here, ready to take out that high and look to tentatively test all the way up to the $12,300 area, to see that type of liquidity enter, as we could see, another intraday parabolic move, liquidity enters the market, and then we get a dump of that magnitude. It's clear as day to me here that this was nothing more than somebody getting ready to exit their position. And by that, I mean that they've been waiting this whole time, right? They've been waiting the whole time, because as you can see, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, look at the volume here on the bottom of the screen, right? You can't exit there if you have a ton of Bitcoin and you're not going OTC. You can't exit on that volume. Are you crazy? You'll push the book down so far if you're trying to move a massive amount of Bitcoin, right? And then the market is moving up. It continues to go, go, go. And then what happens here again? We see the volume drop off, volatility drop off. And what is this person waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, or entity? I don't want to say person because it can be a collective, right? So this winds up getting taken out. The volume gradually rises here, as you could see, multiple bars in a row, uptick, 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 liquidity, and a dump fest. Let's get this crypto. So now that that's out of the way, I wanted to explain to you what I'm seeing there, and now we'll continue with the rest of the analysis. But as I've stated, I don't generally ask you to share these videos. I hope that you do on your own goodwill if you expect to, if you like the knowledge that you are receiving here. But today I think that you should be sharing this with somebody that needs to learn that lesson about the liquidity entering the market and how the market movers can use that to their advantage. Let's get this crypto. All right, so now that lesson is done. And let's move over to what may we see here in the trend. Is this still bullish, or right now is this rejection actually super bearish, and should we potentially be bracing for further movements to the downside here in the near term? Let's get this crypto. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Sheesh. Okay. So now we had the rejection here, but I want you all to see where we're at. We are currently in this range here, this green box, which used to be resistance for me, right? You guys know that I was shouting out weeks ago, about a week ago, right? That this range could be massive resistance. I'm actually going to switch the chart briefly right now, okay? And we're going to go to a cleaner chart where I have other lines drawn. And what I want you guys to see here is the interesting phenomenon that's happened here. Okay, so we were on this upward sloping trend line here for Bitcoin, creating higher low after higher low after higher low. It was then broken, right, most recently on this downtick, and we then created a BART, a classic BART, ladies and gentlemen, just a straight shot down, BART around on the bottom, and a BART back up. So for me, this can actually be chalked up as just a standard deviation. One of the more popular standard deviation plays that I took back in the day here, roughly back in May, was this standard deviation here, where many were not willing to accept the fact that this looked like a bullish ascending triangle. And this action here was being said by many, Kirby, you can't say it's an ascending triangle because don't you see the action above, Kirby? Don't you see? For me, this action above here was just a standard deviation from the mean, and the majority of the price action was in here, right? And as a trader looking to crush the market, I'm trying to stay one step, two steps ahead of everybody else, every trader and every algorithm. And for me, I saw at this exact moment that this looked like a classic ascending triangle, ruling the standard deviation action out of it. So for me right now, it is very possible, although it doesn't have to be, it's possible here that this action was nothing more than standard deviation from the mean, which is this upward sloping trend line here, just like this action over here. And of course, right now at the time of recording, we have dipped just a little bit below here right now. But, my friends, the action for me has not been confirmed yet. If this 4-hour candle does close solidly below this line, sure, we'll look for some other possibilities. But right now, I just wanted to point out that this doesn't have to be the most bearish thing in the world. You guys know I'm unbiased. I look to play the market to the short side and to the long side, up or down. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, right, like what I was just saying here, this could still be bullish even though it looks bearish at the moment. People in the past have gotten so used to me just being bearish because the trend was so bearish back here, especially back in 2018, that I used to get comments and people said, Kirby, do you ever go long or do you only trade short? Insane, ladies and gentlemen, that the market was so bearish that people got so used to me never ever going long that they thought I only trade the market bearish. But again, the thing is that a lot of people entered the space right here, right? So they've only ever seen Don Carbonaccio playing trades in this environment, right? They weren't here for all of this, right? They weren't there for that. They only got in here, and by the time that they discovered my analyses here, they only saw me in this environment, which, of course, James, I've been trading bearish. Stunad. What have you been eating too much gabagool, James? Getting it clogged up in your brain cells, my friend? In a bear market, the Don is trading bearish. In a bull market, the Don wants to roll with the trend and potentially play it bullish. But right now, I see that we could be at what may be a blow-off top, potentially top of a market cycle scenario here, which I'm not discrediting at all. But maybe this is one gigantic bull flag, as I pointed out yesterday, and maybe this is still just going to be a uptrending spot in the chart right now. And if we rule this out here, does this look like anything has changed, or does this just look like a classic bot-driven algorithm BART right here and a BART back to the average action, just like we saw here, except this was a BART up and then back to the average action, right? Let's get this crypto. Just pointing it out, just pointing it out. Now, we'll go back to the action here on my main chart. And what I want to point out here is that if we drop below this green box for me, ladies and gentlemen, we just keep squeezing to the end of this potential pennant formation. And for me, if we get rejected here again after double topping right here and failing to create that higher high, and we dump back down to the support at 9,500 to 9,000, push has to come to shove at some point, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact of the matter is that I feel at this point like it's a waiting game just to watch this green line of support be broken and purged down. To me, that is honestly how I feel. That doesn't mean it has to happen. That's also why I'm not just randomly going short right now either. Okay, James? I explained this yesterday if you are subscribed here. Technical analysis is not about predicting the future. It's about identifying where your perceived edge is going to be in the market, where you can see the potential for a high reward, low risk trade setup. For me right now, we're in a zone that has more potential to be support than it does for me to go short at this point in time, okay? So I am not in a position right now. I am not in a long, I am not in a short. When this either breaks to the downside or breaks back up to a new high, you best believe Don Carbanaccio is going to be setting up plays here for both directions. You see, I'm awaiting right now whatever is going to happen. For me right now, we are in a stalemate range inside here. This is the range where, little average Joe and James at the water cooler, they try and make 1 million trades a day. Kirby, I just bought my first $65 worth of Bitcoins, and I'm a day trader now, Kirby. I'm a day trader. Are you a day trader, or did you just, swipe your credit card and buy some Bitcoins, James? Sheesh. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that this market is profitable because of the fact that there are so many horrific decision makers and traders inside this market that are just completely irrational. And the fact of the matter is that when you're looking to crush the market like a 2-ton man, you remain cool, calm, and collected. And right now, Don Carbanaccio is as cool and calm as ever. I'm awaiting right now to strike like a cobra out of the grass and get this crypto when in fact I do see that the time is right for me. The thing is that inside this range right now, we're getting a lot of chop and a lot of mess, a lot of potential liquidation hunter bots, high frequency trading bots just liquidating and stop hunting, etc., etc. For me right now, we are on the brink of potentially one of the largest moves over the past several months. And I'd like to be on the correct end of this trade. So I'm looking right now to get aggressive. I'm going to plan for both directions, a break to the upside or a break to the downside. And I'm going to look to ride the coattails of this trade to the promised land. Let's get this crypto. And by the way, if you want to see how I'm setting up my trades in real time for this very move, I will be posting that for you in VIP. So shout out to my VIPs and shout out to all of my new future VIPs joining VIP right now after this video. I'm going to be posting my strategies, my entries, my targets, my take profits, etc. all for you in VIP for this very move. So if you want to see how I'm trading in real time to the exact second that I formulate my strategies and make my entries and take my profits, then ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in VIP because that is where I will be posting it for you. Let's get this crypto. Shout out to my VIPs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, where we stand in the trend is very unique. I see that we still are under our downward sloping resistance here. We still have the the market movers, or whales, if you will. I really don't like to use that term because it's very misunderstood. Like I said in the beginning of the video, ladies and gentlemen, some people think one Bitcoin is a whale. It's a little sad to me, but it's all about perception, right? It's all about perception. So I don't like the term whale. I'll use the term market mover because that implies that entity has enough Bitcoin to move the market, right? You see, so these market movers are still looking to take profit here when liquidity enters, as I showed you earlier in the video, right? And again, please, if you want to enlighten somebody today, share this video with them to learn the lesson on the liquidity, okay? Now, the fact that this is still happening, to me, is just a bearish confirmation where those that have large amounts are still looking to take profit in here, right? That's just, for me, that's just what I'm seeing, which still is leading into another lower high trajectory of the trend right now. You could see that we have all of these downward arrows here. This is actually interesting as it was relatively a double top here. And if we do drop below my green box here at around 10,100 and then ultimately retest this resistance, or excuse me, retest this support around 9,500, keep it on your radar that this could be the point where the tentative bearish descending triangle is ready to break to the downside, as this would now be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ultimately potentially the 6th time here that we've tested this support level after being in a bearish descending triangle after a series of lower highs, and this could be ready to break to the downside. Let's get this crypto. Right now, guys, I hope you understand where my head is at. I'm preparing for one of the largest moves of the past few months here. I see that many traders here, and I use traders in quotations, many degenerates and gamblers are probably going to get wrecked here, caught like a deer in the headlights, potentially lose everything. But right now, Don Carbonaccio is planning for success here. If we boom to the upside, and this is all one giant bull flag, you best believe that the Don is looking to crush this market to the long end. And if, ladies and gentlemen, we do find that this is a descending triangle we break down, the Don is looking to get this crypto on the short side. Please, my friends, do not get wrecked here. Do not get caught like a deer in the headlights. Don't be eaten the gabagool with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll be posting all of my trades as I take them, as I plot my strategies and make my entries, take my profits, move my stop losses, etc., etc. I'm going to be posting it for you in VIP. So today is the day I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. My friends, if you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Like I said, I don't believe many are under the understanding here of how the liquidity entering the market works in this very illiquid market. And for me right now, I think that is important for you to share with those that need to understand it. Guys, right now, I'm preparing for one of the most potentially large moves we've seen in months. I'm ready to crush this market. So are you going to get this crypto, or are you going to take that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler? The choice is yours. I will see you in VIP right now. I'm ready to crush it. Are you? Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curve.